Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Drop the Mitts Hockey Podcast. And today, I know Bruins fans are going to love this episode. We've got former member of St. Andrews College, Boston College Eagle, and most recently the 25th overall pick in this past draft to the Boston Bruins, Dean Letourneau. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Can't thank you enough for coming on and taking time out of your Sunday. I'm fired up to have you here.
Yeah.
Man, how's the summer been going? What kind of things are you doing, to kind of pass time when you're not training or on the ice?
Yeah, and I mean the summer's been good. For me, my summer I enjoy it just because I am training. I'm on the ice like 4 times a week. I'm in the gym. That's kind of all I've been doing. I don't really have too much off time. When I do, I'm kind of just at home with my family. Maybe playing some video games, playing some basketball. But I like training. Just getting better every day. So that's kind of what my summer's been like so far.
What's your go-to game?
We just kind of got Madden right now.
Oh, that
I've been playing some of my career on Madden. I'll play my brothers in some NHL, just kind of the sporty games.
I know you got to be fired up for the new NCAA and Madden coming out. I think the NCAA comes out Friday, and then Madden's not too long after.
Yeah, I heard it's coming out. I need to get a PS5 so I can play that. It
Dude,
looks
for
pretty
sure.
cool.
I'm a PS5 guy, and I was an Xbox guy, and I'll never go back. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing like PlayStation, dude. But yeah, man, you'll be a member of Boston College this season, right? I mean, that's from what I was reading. A team with some serious talent, man. New talent coming in, returning talent, guys like Ryan Leonard, Gabe Perreault. Um, Man, have you gotten the chance to skate with those guys yet? Have you gotten to kind of walk around the campus and just kind of get the lay of the land?
I've been only to the campus for my visits. I haven't been down yet this summer. I missed like the two sessions they've done at the start of the year. I missed those. But I mean, at the Bruins development camp, I was with Jelvik and Gasso.
Yep.
So I got to skate with those guys and talk to them. They're really nice guys. So they answered a lot of my questions. And I'm looking forward to playing with them this year too.
Yeah, man, they're two beauties too. I mean, those guys are hell of players too. Yeah, you mentioned what was it like getting to know those guys? Getting to skate with. I mean, you skated with all the Bruins top prospects. What was that like, man?
Yeah, it was good. Just to kind of be out there with different competition. A lot of people were waiting to see what I was like at development camp, and I thought I showed pretty well just skating against those guys. So I thought it was really good for me to get out there and show my skills.
You had some silky mitts out there too. I saw a couple videos, man. I was like, "Woo!"
Thank you.
Yeah, man. How fired up are you this year to play at Conti? Did you get the opportunity to see any games played last year? Obviously, it's a crazy atmosphere there.
Yeah, I didn't get to see one last year. I visited 2 years ago. I got to watch one there, and it was pretty crazy atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to playing there.
Now, man, what went into that decision to choose BC? I mean, were there any other schools that were kind of in play, or was it as soon as you kind of walked on, saw BC's campus, you kind of fell in love? Were there any other, schools in play?
The only other schools was Harvard and BU. I knew I wanted to stay in the Boston area, but it was basically just BC's campus, their facilities. It was kind of unmatched. Their campus kind of felt more like St. Andrews campus, so I
Yeah.
just saw myself being there for the next couple of years, and that's ultimately what made my decision.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, obviously, we mentioned earlier, BC. They're going to be on a lot of people's radars this year, returning a lot of talent, new talent coming in. I mean, I would assume they're going to be top of the rankings. Um, what can BC Eagles fans expect out of you, your game on the ice? And what areas of your game do you take most pride in, as well as some areas that you're really trying to dial in this summer?
Yeah, they can expect a guy coming in that wants to win. I'm going to do everything I can to win. The thing I kind of take pride in the most for me is just as soon as I get on the ice, the only thing I care about is winning. So I'm going to do whatever it takes. And the one thing I've kind of been trying to dial in is make sure I'm keeping my feet moving, keeping my speed getting faster, and getting a little stronger this summer. So that's kind of what I've been focused on the last month and a bit since I've been home.
Yeah, man. We'll get into the draft a little bit, later on. But man, your last season, St. Andrews, 127 points in 56 games. I mean, that's outstanding, incredible. Are there any players, current, former, in the NHL that you kind of see a little bit of yourself in, or try to emulate your game after?
Yeah, I mean, I try to model my game after Tage Thompson. It's the big, tall centerman with skill. I mean, the thing with him, I like watching his puck protection. So that's something I'm trying to work on for me too. Is just he's a big body and the way he protects pucks. I'm trying to emulate that as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's a hell of a name too. I mean, he's a pretty good player. 50
Yeah,
goal scorer is pretty good. Hopefully, we can get that out of you in here in Boston.
hopefully.
Man, for people who haven't heard of St. Andrews, obviously they're in the prep hockey conference. Um, Man, what was your experience like at St. Andrews? And what did they do for your development? Because again, you kind of came on like super late in the scene. People start watching your tape and just unbelievable skill. You got size. I mean, but what did St. Andrews do for your development to get to this point?
Yeah, it was kind of just playing in all scenarios. I mean, I got to play 20 minutes a night. I got to play power play, PK, started games, I finished games. So just playing in all different scenarios, playing a lot, getting a lot of reps. It's kind of what helped me. They allowed me to be creative, try new things. So I mean, those are the kind of reasons why I went back to St. Andrews, and ultimately, it's kind of helped me to get to this point now. So I'm really happy with that decision.
Yeah, man. Now we can get into the draft, which was absolutely incredible to watch on TV, man. Man, what was your first impressions? You land in Vegas. Obviously, it's a massive city, buzzing city. What's going through your head, man, when you're in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, kind of as we were landing on the plane, I saw the strip with all the lights, and I was like, "Holy cow! Like this is this is a nice
Yeah,
place." And then as soon as I stepped off the plane, I felt a heat wave come in. And it's a hot place there in
yeah,
Vegas. I
dude.
was sweating as soon as I stepped off the plane, but it was a great experience. I mean, it kind of all just came into me at once when the plane landed that I'm finally here at Vegas for the draft. But it was a surreal experience.
Yeah, dude. I mentioned the sphere. The whole thing was just crazy. I mean, it was an unreal atmosphere. They did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
But man, you're with family, friends. Um, you hear your name 25th overall to the Boston Bruins. Obviously, an original six franchise. Story tradition. Um, you're walking up to the stage to get the jersey, shake Commissioner Bettman's hand. What the hell's going through your head, man? Are you shocked that the Bruins, took you? Like, what is going through your mind at that moment?
The first thing I kind of like went through my mind was not to fall when I was walking down the stairs. There were some pretty big stairs, so I was hopefully trying not to trip
Yeah,
and fall. But I mean, just the excitement. I mean, I just kind of looking out in the crowd and seeing everyone there and just having my name called with I mean a great organization and just being in that moment that I mean I've kind of been dreaming about for my whole life was pretty exciting and I just had a rush of emotions going through my head at the time.
now, Bruins obviously pick you 25th. Were there any other teams that you really thought were like legitimate, like you were in play for? Or was it really you felt really good about the Bruins and kind of knew that like if I fall to the Bruins, like they're gonna take me?
I mean, I felt good about them. There was also Montreal. I knew had a lot of interest in me,
Yeah.
and then LA. So those were the probably top three that I kind of had my fingers crossed for. But I mean, I got real lucky with the Bruins to be such a great organization. So I'm super happy and pumped to get started with them.
Now, during combine time, when you're training and you're kind of going through the interview process, man, how did you feel kind of after the combine? You put up some impressive numbers, um, and obviously the interview process. Like, did you have any bizarre questions or like questions that you kind of walked out of there? You're like, "Fuck, I should have answered those differently," or like, any just questions that really made you think?
There was one with like Nashville. They asked me if I was to join the military, would I be a sniper, a pilot, or a medic? And I was like, it was my second interview. I was so nervous. I didn't know what to say, and I kind of just like blurted out. I was like sniper. I didn't really give like a good reason why, but I mean, I just said like because it's kind of the only one where my life's kind of in my hands. Like I can shoot the other people, I can support my teammates from afar, but then I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, well, I mean, it kind of sounds like I'm supporting my teammates from afar. I might not want to get in, so I don't know. It was kind of a mix of things going on in my mind when I said that. So I kind of was leaving there like, oh, did I say the right thing? Like I don't know.
I gotta be honest.
That was kind of the only weird one I got.
That is the first time I've ever heard that one. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, I know. I've heard before the combine. I was like researching like some funny questions some players have heard just to kind of be a little prepared. Never heard that one before. So
Dude,
caught me a little off guard.
the animal one always gets me because I'll like interview dudes and they'll be like, I don't even know. Like I'll just like some of them just said random shit. Like I forgot. I think it was Zach Benson said he'd be like a golden retriever or something. It's like, dude, that's such a sick answer. Uh, but man, yeah, you mentioned in Vegas, you're drafted to an original six team. You're finally a Bruin. All the work that you've put in, finally, you kind of that weight lifted off you. Man, what did that celebration look like? I mean, did you just kind of hang out with the family? Did you guys kind of walk around the strip? What did that celebration look like?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just hung out with the family. Went to the Bruins hotel after to meet all the staff and kind of just hang out with them. I got to see my old coaches and everyone that came down to support me. Kind of just hung out with them for a couple hours and then went back to the hotel to shut it down. I was on a flight the next morning to Boston. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Did you get the opportunity to speak to any of the current guys on the team?
I mean, I talked to a little bit like to Brad Marchand. He was at the rink a couple times, and I talked to him for a bit. I got a text from McAvoy after I got drafted. Just he's a Boston University Terrier, so I mean, he's kind of saying that he won't hold it against me that I'm going to be an Eagle. But then I saw Swayman. So I saw a couple guys when I was there.
Awesome, man. And we mentioned earlier development camp. Obviously there's a ton that goes into it, right? On the ice things, off the ice things. Um, what were some of your biggest takeaways from that week? I mean, you got so much. You mentioned you're on a plane the day after you're drafted, right? And you got so much going on, so much going through your head. But what were some of the biggest takeaways from that you took from that week?
Yeah, it was just making sure that you have a high compete. All the guys there are competing for a job in the NHL, and you don't want to kind of get your spot taken. So just compete your hardest every time you're out on the ice. Battle hard. Those are kind of the biggest things that I took away. Just how strong those guys were. How hard you have to compete, and those guys aren't even in the NHL right now. So when you play against those guys that are in the NHL, it's going to be even more. So just kind of learning that right now, I think will help me for the future.
No, what about like off the ice stuff? Is there anything? I mean, obviously, I know they really try to kind of harp the diet, nutrition, all that. Was that something that was kind of new to you? I mean, all that information that you're trying to take in.
A little bit. I never really had like a nutritionist before. I
Yeah,
mean, we got a little lesson on nutrition, so I've been taking some of that in and using that at home when I'm cooking or when my dad's cooking. They talked a lot about like sleep and recovery, so that was a little new for me. I mean, I've always been a good person when it comes to sleep. Never really stayed up too late, but just kind of hearing that and how important that is for your recovery was good to hear. So I mean, there's a couple of those type of things that I learned when I was there.
awesome, man. Listen, I cannot wait, obviously, to have you here in Boston. I'm gonna be catching some games at Conti for sure, and I'll be rooting for you, buddy. Can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your Sunday to join us here. Wish you the best of luck this year, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.